We're on page 449. Ready? Raphael uses 3 1/3 cups of oats to make oatmeal and 2 1/3 cups of oats to make trail mix. How many cups of oats does Raphael use in all? I add my whole numbers first. I have a 3, and I have a 2. 3 plus 2 equals 5. Then I add the fractions. 1/3 plus 1/3. I'm adding, so the denominator never changes. Add the numerators. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2/3. Now I add the two sums together, which is 5 plus 2/3, which is the same thing as 5 2/3. I don't have to leave the plus sign there. So Raphael uses 5 2/3 cups of oats. Number 2. Draw and label a number line to show 1 1/4, 0, 1 whole, 2 whole, 3. Okay. And then the denominator is 4, so I'm going to put 3 little marks in between each of these. That's going out. Because remember, when we have an arrow, the arrows mean the line goes forever, infinity. I'm ready. So I'm doing 1 1/4. I know it goes from 0 to 1, and then 1 little quarter is 1 1/4. So I'm starting here. Then I'm going to add 2 1/4. So I start here, and I'm going to add 2 whole jumps. So I'm going to jump from the exact same spot to another mark just in front of the 2. And my line is not long enough. 2 hops. I need to add more to my number line because I still have 2 more to go. Boom, boom. And that would be, if this is 0/3, 1/1. I'm going to do a PS. Here's the rest of my number line that I am cutting off on accident. 2, 3, 4. The denominator is 4, so put 3 marks in between them. And 4 4s. 3, 2, 1 over 4. This is the same thing as 4 4s. Okay, so that's the same little thing. So right here, those 2 little hops are here. Boom, boom. So it lands on 3 4s. 2 4s, and this is 1 4. Okay? So if I look at my information, I have 3 wholes, which is adding 1 plus 2 equals 3. And then I add, the denominator doesn't change, and I add the numerators, 1 plus 2, and I get 3. And I can see that I landed on 3 and 3/4 right here. You can see it right there? How'd that go? Awesome. Let's do the next one. I'm going to add the whole numbers first. 10 plus 5, 15. The numerator's next. 2 plus 1 is 3, and the denominator never changes. What did they do to their denominator? It never changes. False. They tried to add their denominator. Gross. So gross, so wrong. Never do it. Let's go to the next one. I add the whole numbers first. 5 plus 3 is 8. Then I add the numerator. 3 plus 5 is 8. The numerator would be an 8. The denominator never changes, and I have a 8 wholes. But look, 8 eighths is the same thing as 1. So the answer is true. And the answer is 9. Next one. Because 8 eighths is the same thing as a number 1, and 8 plus 1 is 9. On the next one, I add the whole numbers. 8 plus 1 is 9. 3 plus 2 is 5. So I should have 9, 5 for my numerator. The denominator never changes. They subtracted. So the answer is false. Okay? We're going to subtract next, though. So you need to pay attention to this, to what we're solving for adding or subtracting. Let's read the next story problem. Elaine and his parents gather pecans that fall from the trees on their land. Elaine gathers. Is the name Elian? Elian. Let's just call him. I'm just going to call him Eli. Eli and his parents gather pecans that fall from the trees on their land. Eli gathers 4 1/4 pounds. His mom gathers 3 1/2 pounds, and his dad gathers 5 1/2 pounds. How many pounds do they gather in all? So I'm going to underline in all. That's what I'm solving for. Eli, mom, dad. I'm going to only add 2 at a time because I don't want to make a mistake. So I'm going to start with Eli, and I'm going to add it to what his mom found. I add the whole numbers, and I got 7. I add the numerators here, and I get 2, and the denominator doesn't change. So Eli and his mom, they picked 7 pounds plus 2 twos, which is the same thing as a 1. So those 2 people actually picked 8 pounds. How's that looking so far? Then I'm going to add what the dad found, which was 5 pounds and a half. 8 plus 5 is 13, and there's nothing else to add, so the answer would be 13 halves. Okay, and I'm going to label it pounds. Getting really good at labeling. There is another problem hidden down there. Let's figure that out. Ready? Patrick's mom is taking him, let's read. Patrick's mom is taking him to visit his dad. First they ride the subway for 7 miles. Next they ride the bus. Then they walk. Oh, this is text structure sequence. Telling things in sequence order. Funsies. Then they walk 5/10 of a mile. How many miles do Patrick and his mom travel on their way there? So first, they ride the subway for 7/10 of a mile. Sequence order, because this one is in first. Then they use the word next. They ride the bus 9 8/10 of a mile. They do that secondly. Then they walk 5/10 of a mile. How far do they travel in all? So this could be the word lastly, using sequence order. Love that. Okay, I add the wholes together. 4 plus 9 is 13. Then I add the numerator. So I have a 7 plus 8. I'm going to do 7 plus 8 here, and I get 15. Then I'm going to take 15, and I'm going to add this last 5 and get 20. So I have 13. The numerator is 20. The denominator never changes because we're adding, but it's not finished because there's an improper fraction, and we have to fix improper fractions. So I'm going to say 10 goes into 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, using my toolbox skills. I can see it's 2 times. So this is the same thing as 3 plus 2. So it took them 15, how many miles? 15 miles to get to where they wanted to go.